Hello, I'm Maff Potts from the Camerados movement.
And I'm Nadjeschda Taranczewski from ConsciousU.
And Nadia is in Berlin, and I am near Oxford in England. And we're saying hello today because we want to tell you a little bit about SpoonRoom and the communities we're trying to build online.
Right. So, Maff, maybe you start by telling everybody a bit about what Camerados is.
Well, the Camerados movement is really about looking out for each other and that being the best way to get through tough times. Some of us have worked for many, many years with people having a really, really tough time in life. And we discovered that the two things they really need are friends and a sense of purpose. And we get both of those things when we come together and look out for each other. So we have a network across the UK and now the world of people creating places called public living rooms, which are what they say, a living room in a public space where you can just come, be alongside each other. And the big thing about Camerados is there's no outcome. We're not fixing each other. We're not being the best. We're not being perfect. We're being a bit rubbish together, and that's okay. And when you connect on that level, it's amazing what happens, and people can get through tough times that way.
Right. And I remember, Maff, that I saw a blog post by you just a few weeks back in which you were quite devastated about the current situation with COVID-19 and what that means for your movement. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, when you're all about human connection and bringing people together, you know, I certainly didn't see this coming, that suddenly that is banned by the government. Oh, that's how it feels. But of course it isn't. Physical distancing is what we're talking about, not social. And actually social connection is more important now than ever. And we're seeing that with street by street, house by house, people coming together. And if anything, now people are being more camarados to each other. And I think we're trying to do that now online with SpoonRoom, because video conferencing can be a bit clunky and formal and we talk over each other. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes joining a room full of faces. So we've tried to do the Camerados thing and be a bit silly and make it fun. But we couldn't have done this without a Camerado in Berlin reaching out to us and saying, hey, we can help the movement. And just so happened that Nadia was an expert in both online communication and this thing called listening circles. And we've mashed that together with Camerados and come up with SpoonRoom.
Yeah, and the whole idea here is basically to create a format where people can still be connected to each other, and they can do that in two ways. So SpoonRooms can be a local thing. So whoever in your movement has been running a public living room or has been taking part in a public living room, you can meet the very same people as long as they have either a computer or a smartphone or any phone. They can dial into an online SpoonRoom and be part of that community. And we can do this internationally. So we've also created a once a week international SpoonRoom where anyone who feels at all inclined to meet other Camerados worldwide can dial in for an hour and connect to other people. And yeah, Maff, I want to hear a little bit from you about your first experience with SpoonRooms. And also, I know you can be a bit rubbish sometimes, but stop beating your desk because that's going to be loud in the recording. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I told you that it's okay to be rubbish because I'm pretty much rubbish all the time. So I'm holding my spoon, which means I'm speaking and waving to get attention. And also it's how I'm feeling today, which is I've decorated my spoon. I'm feeling a little bit louche and bohemian today because I'm wearing a lovely scarf. Yeah, the first experience was amazing. And actually, I sometimes think that the global SpoonRoom on a Saturday is the closest thing to Camerados because you meet strangers. A lot of you are going to use SpoonRooms amongst your friends, and that's wonderful. But do try and join on a Saturday because you meet people you don't know from Portugal and you have a chat about what you're going through. And it is the most lovely thing and very emotional.
Yeah, that's true. Stop beating. No, I loved it as well. And actually, one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is how did the word SpoonRoom come about? Because there were some questions about that as well.
Oh yeah, it's a few different things really. I mean, we like to be silly, and because when you're silly, you're human, and there's so much formality and a lot of seriousness, particularly now around COVID. And to connect a little bit deeper, it's good to be a bit silly and have some humor. But also, it's a little bit like holding the talking stick. And when you've only got this box and image, you can't see whose turn it is. So if you just do that, It's really easy. So it's like the talking stick. But also we're really inspired by people with chronic illness, and they have something called spoon theory. And they say they have 5 spoons per day of energy because of their chronic illness. And it helps them express to other people how they're feeling. If they've only got 2 spoons today, give me a break. So we kind of thought you could do that by, you know, having different sized spoons. I'm feeling like a ladle person today because I'm talking to Nadia. Oh, Nadia's feeling like a teaspoon today. So she's a little bit low.
But at least it's blue.
Ah, hey.
Or maybe I'm feeling blue, who knows? Lovely. Okay. Do you feel there's anything else that Camerados need to know about SpoonRooms?
I think I would just dive in. Well, I think sometimes, like now, the connection will go wrong, which is what's happening now.
That's okay.
Dive in and give it a.
That's okay. So yeah, but I think what we can point people to is that there are other resources on the Camerados website. So you will find a PDF to download all the different steps for the Spoon Room, whether you are a Camerado participating or whether you want to host a Spoon Room or whether you want to support a host by being a wizard who has a little bit more clue about the technology of Zoom and is willing to deal with that. There's also a guided centering process that we use at the beginning of the public Spoon Rooms called Roots and Wings, and you can look at that video as well and see if you want to either play that with your group or learn how to do it yourself and run it with your Spoon Room group. Anything else that they can find online?
No, just go to camerados.org and it's all there. And I just want to say a huge thank you to the amazing Nadia and the amazing ConsciousU in Berlin who've helped us do this.
Thank you so much. It's my honor and pleasure as a Camerado. So bye.
Bye.